Good evening and welcome to the June 8th, 2026 meeting of the Hampden Selectboard and Board of Health. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. We're meeting in the Hampden Town Hall. We are recording the meeting as well as broadcasting over Zoom. Is there anyone else recording the meeting? Kristen Rivers from the Hampden Wolverhampton Times. Welcome, Kristen. So first thing on the agenda, we have a couple of sets of minutes, May 18th and May 26th. Lauren, was this you or who did the minutes of the 18th?
I did.
Okay, I have to say, I think you did a really good job on the recap of the school discussion. Extra cookie for that. Okay, down. Approval. Second. On favor? Aye. If those recall, we should be scheduling a recap of the exec minute. Think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got all the,
We got a bunch of and we should be able to clear all those up, highway ones down. We have to vote like once a year whether we release exec session minutes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, meeting of May 26th.
well,
Really? What? You spelled your name wrong?
no, but they omitted the fact that that was my birthday.
I did not do this.
We'll get it next year. Okay. Can we have the special cookies? What's that?
They were the special cookies.
With the candle?
Yeah.
Not all of them.
When you like a forest fire.
Brian, typically after the reorg, I think, I don't know if you mentioned it in the staff meeting, but typically we send out an email to town departments, letting them know what the board organization is.
They do.
Okay.
I move approval on May 26 minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We have Richard, the keeper of the money. And online, we have Elise, the guardian of the money. So
Hi.
Here we are in the last month of the year. Elise, thank you for what you're sending out on a monthly basis. I think it's very valuable to the different town departments, letting them know where they stand on their expenditures. Obviously, the close to and overspent accounts. I mean, obviously, some are spent out as they should be. A couple of them over by a buck or two, and some. You look at some like the fire department operations, over by 1%, but the 1% represent $800. And what are we thinking for something like that? Are we going to start preparing some line to lines from inside there?
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll do some budget transfers, which I've already started putting that together, but I don't feel comfortable presenting that to you yet until we see June.
Right. So,
yeah.
And I think you had mentioned before that July 17th was your drop dead.
It is. Yes.
Okay. All right. So again, a lot of these, I think easily can be taken care of inside departments without even going to reserve. Yeah.
That's what it looks like right now. Yes.
A couple of them jump out, and not my major money, but the vests. Any idea why they got overspent?
It's, we're waiting for reimbursement
That's a grant. Mhm.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a grant, and there was a snafu in getting Dan's name on and Scott's name off. That just happened last week. The federal bureaucracy is strong. But I anticipate we'll get the money. It's just a matter of time.
It's just process.
I believe so.
Okay. And it's not big money, but it's just kind of a surprise, something like that, yeah.
Procedure's annoying as heck.
Okay,
The information technology,
I need to go back and look at that account. So there's the office equipment acquisitions account, $20,000 that we haven't spent out of. So I think some of those are miscoded when they were loaded. Yeah.
okay.
I was surprised to see training, police training that far overdrawn.
It always is that they, this training is mostly a salary item. And she's probably gonna be turning back $100,000 on the salary line.
I knew that, yeah.
You'll notice that this year, the new chief asked for a $10,000 or so increase in the training salary line.
Mhm.
And the advisory did a like reduction on the salary lines.
Mhm.
Honestly, I'm not even sure why there's two separate lines there. It's not like that line item is used to pay for the program.
Mhm.
It's used to pay to pay the officers for the overtime for the training.
Mhm.
It's a salary line.
Yeah, does it count into their W-2?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, not if it's there's a reimbursement component and there's an overtime component. I don't remember how it breaks down. You'd have to ask Julie or Dan.
Yeah, certainly that IT thing. I know last year we went through a problem where stuff was coded into whether it was acquisitions or IT. But this does seem to be quite a, $20,000 overage.
Yeah, that counts 20,000. I spent close to most of that, and I'll check too.
I'm just saying it's overdrawn by 20. That seems a little like Don was just saying.
Right, and so there's a $20,000 account that's not spent down right now. The office equipment acquisitions.
So it's just coded wrong?
I think so.
Okay.
I'll look into that.
All right.
And some of that may be, some of that may have been, can be attributed to the move. We'll have to see.
All right. So your plan then would be to set up a meeting, Elise and Dick, early July to finalize requests for transfers, line to line, et cetera?
I don't really have
Yes, okay,
it's Lisa's game.
okay.
Elise, the information you sent me about the transfer station, that July amount, that's the 15,000 that the town allocates to tax levy?
The July amount, I'm sorry.
Yeah, July 2025 revenue was 22,000. So I'm thinking that's 15,000 from the tax levy, and the rest is.
Yeah, let me double check that. Give me a second.
Not necessarily. July's a very big.
I know, that's what I'm trying to figure out, yeah. Because we're showing
That does not include raised from taxes. That's purely revenues from bags and permits.
okay, so the $12,000 deficit as of the end of May,
Yep.
but really, if the 15,000 tax levy goes there, then it's really only 3,000 to the
Yep.
good.
Yep. That's correct.
Okay. All right, so we're pretty close to that.
It's good.
And the salaries, I think, are around 2,800 a month, so.
Yep.
Should be pretty good there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So nice. We're still waiting to hear back about if there was some more money
From the state,
from the state.
potential, yeah.
Yeah. That's quick.
Obviously I see one utility line, the senior center utilities. No surprise there that, natural gas went up, electricity went up, and they're overspent by, looks like 2,600. But at least do you see other potentials inside senior center to take care of that or no?
Yes. Like I said, I have started a list, and the majority of the budget transfers I'm putting together now are interdepartmental.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, obviously nothing to, like you say, the 212,000 overspent on snow and ice. Largest number we've seen in several years, but it was a heck of a winter. It is what it is.
But it looks like we did pass extra money.
Right, there's still no how we're gonna actually.
We don't know how much we're gonna
Right.
get though.
Yeah. Cause we're way out here. By the time it comes out here.
The ice money.
It melts.
Yeah. Great. Okay, well, thank you for zooming in.
Sure.
We'll look forward to, obviously staying in the loop and getting you for July.
So cash flow is good. We've got about 3 million in general fund right now, although we're gonna pay $1 million to the school this week, so. We have gotten bids for the State House note, the borrowing for the water project. So it was very important to borrow more than we spent, otherwise it hits cash. It hits the free cash number. So we ended up borrowing 1.45 million. And the bad news is we only had one bidder for the State House note. Only one bank was interested. The good news is the rate's 3.25%. So I can't complain about that. Now, municipal bonds tend to go for about 2/3 of the rate of mortgage rate. So, that's predictable because it's interest free to the borrower. So Unibank has borrowed it, so has bid it, and I have documents that I need you to sign tonight so that we will get the money next Wednesday, so that we can push off the last part of the water project until we can appropriate for it. Any questions on that process?
No, sir.
All right.
All right, so we have a,
Just a sign on these 6 pages.
right, so we need a vote to approve signing the borrowing.
I move we approve the borrowing of 1 million. What do you got here? $450,000 for the purpose of the water district.
And you'll write your check later.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Don.
Second.
What? He's like, what? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Until Sophie, make it on.
I'm not gonna tell.
Use the other
She
account.
got her own checking account. She can figure it out.
Sign page 1, 2, 4, and 6.
Well, usually there's like little things.
I didn't have any, and I didn't want to screw up the office equipment.
Budget.
One. Line 1.
1, 2, 4, and 6. Okay, write down those numbers first.
There's 5 pages here. You can continue on it. I can.
You sure I don't want to distract you? You're signing page 3, 5,
1, 2, okay.
4, 6.
All right. Anything else we should know about?
Anything else that I really want you to know? No. No, I
Not on camera, really?
obviously, if you have any questions, but everything is pretty well hunky dory.
Okay.
Well, I'm confused.
What's 11, page 4?
1.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. 4. All right. No, 3.
3.
4 and 6.
4 and 6.
There's 2.
Oh, here, okay, I see, okay.
2-page
It was
documents.
very dim.
It was at a different spot.
It's crappy ink, again, keeping the budget down.
You're just shaking the toner cartridge.
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. I can barely see that line.
Try and get you out of here before 7, Dick. if we can. All right. Well,
All right.
you're all set?
Yeah.
Great. Good luck. All right. While that's happening, we're gonna go on to tie and bond. The FY 26 Stormwater Management Program Presentation. Oh, Jen, come on up. Come on.
So thank you guys for having us. I'm Jen Gilbert. We're here to report on your annual stormwater management program update. So I will turn this over to the delightful Haley to the presentation, and if you have any questions, please.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Haley Rivers. I am a planner at Ty and Bonds, and I have been working with the Town of Hampden to help with their stormwater management program for about 4 years now. So I'm just going to give a presentation on fiscal year 26, which is also known under the permit as permit year 8. And we'll provide some basic background, and then we'll talk about this year, and then we'll talk about future requirements upcoming for permit year 9 and 10.
You're just trying to get it to.
Like so, yeah. And then from beginning.
Great. There you go.
So if you would like to go to the next slide. All right, so as I said just a moment ago, we're just here to provide an update on what happened during fiscal year 26. We're going to provide some introduction and background on stormwater and the MS4 general permit. We're going to talk about what accomplished in permit 8 by the town of Hampden. We're going to talk about anything planned for permit 9, which starts on July 1st, and any future permit year requirements that are relevant to Hampden. This is also an opportunity to solicit feedback. So if any of you have any comments, questions, we'd love to hear from you.
Good.
So what is stormwater? So stormwater is defined as rainwater that falls on paved or impervious surfaces such as roofs, potentially also lawns, that doesn't soak into the ground, and then it becomes runoff that goes into the stormwater system. So stormwater system goes into the storm drain, which goes into the greater system, and eventually flows and discharges to outfalls, and that stormwater goes directly into waterways or the natural environment. Stormwater runoff is known to pick up trash or chemicals that can create stormwater pollution. And unfortunately, stormwater is currently the largest source of water pollution that we have in the USA. We can move on to the next slide. So the EPA's small MS4 stormwater program. So MS4 stands for Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System. It is a program that is jointly administered by the EPA and Mass DEP. It is part of the Clean Water Act, and it is meant to protect all waters of the US. Hampden's MS4 area is just this red crosshatched area of town. This is considered the urbanized area. It is characterized by high concentrations of impervious surface and is also characterized based on the 2010 US Census. So this is where the majority of the density of housing and population is in Hampden. Next slide.
Sorry, I have people trying to come in and Zoom at the same time.
Oh, a second.
Yeah, of course.
So the screen share. Stop share for a second.
Yeah, I think there's an issue with
And then reshare. And then reshare.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah. Well, if we can take a little snooze. Have the meeting, we can.
Now the technology guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did just take.
Yes.
Give you a copy to put on the website too later.
I have have some experience with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He usually does a screen, but he's on Zoom and he's not seeing it on Zoom. What we're seeing on the TV right now.
So you're presenting the presentation.
That's what happened to me the other night at the.
Screen share.
Is there a screen share? He's not seeing it.
Couldn't screen share.
It might be doing here. So try doing stop share.
Well, that's too bad. Where was your?
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. Which is fine, but that's not what we.
No, it's
This box.
No worries, it can be filled with stuff.
So it doesn't,
no, I'm back to.
you go to full screen to share, when you go to view, it doesn't pick it up.
Let's go back to the. Yeah.
People at home, it's
Good piece.
Okay,
progressive without.
can we go back? Okay.
It's not sharing it when it goes in presenter mode.
Interesting.
Alright. Thank
There we
you.
go.
I did a bunch of little presentations, in college, and learned some of the early settings.
You don't have to go back to the beginning.
I appreciate that. All right, so,
Yep, you're good.
so sorry for the interruption, but picking up where we left off. So, again, the small MS4 stormwater program, jointly administered under EPA and Mass DEP. The town of Hampden, as a entity authorized to discharge, filed a notice of intent under the 2016 small MS4 general permit, and that was submitted on September 18th, 2018. Your authorization to discharge stormwater was then received on April 5th, 2019, with an expiration date of June 30th, 2022. It was then administratively continued on May 16th, 2022, until a new permit is issued. And your stormwater management plan was finalized on July 1st, 2019, and it is updated annually. It is also on your website at this little link below, the Stormwater Committee webpage. And that is all the information that we have currently. So for your specific stormwater management plan, and this is true of the entire program for all towns in Massachusetts, you have 6 minimum control measures. The first is public education and outreach. The second is public involvement and participation. The third is illicit discharge detection and elimination, which is IDDE. Your fourth is your construction site stormwater runoff control. Your fifth is your stormwater management and new development and redevelopment. And your sixth is good housekeeping and pollution prevention. And we are going to go more into detail of all of the activities that you complete under these MCMs. So a little bit of background before we dive into that. 4 relevant water bodies in Hampden. You are under a couple of TMDLs, which are known as total maximum daily loads. These are determined by the state's 303D list for impaired waters. For Hampden, the relevant ones are the Connecticut River, which is impaired for nitrogen, and it is part of the Long Island Sound. So it is technically an out-of-state TMDL, but it does regulate some of what we look for in your stormwater. Additionally, there's also the Scantic River, which in the 2022 303D list was recognized as impaired for E. coli. And so that is something that we keep an eye on when we do your stormwater sampling. In addition, you have a couple of extra requirements. You need to street sweep twice per year, once in the spring and once in the fall. Removing some of that leaf litter helps remove nitrogen from the system. And then some of these other requirements, your good housekeeping standard, operation procedures, and your stormwater management BMPs, and some of your timed messaging to residents are all because of the nitrogen and E. coli impairments in town. So, permit year 8 in review. For NCM 1, you have some annual timed messages to residents, businesses, institutions, and commercial facilities. These messages cover topics such as proper leaf litter removal, proper disposal of pet waste. There are a couple of others, but those are all posted to your website at the correct time. And for your public involvement and participation for NCM 2, you keep your stormwater management plan available online, and you also host this presentation once per year to give residents some education and to allow people to provide any comments on the program. So for your IDDE program, you actually completed all stages of fieldwork in permit year 5. So that included screening outfalls during dry weather conditions. It also included catchment investigations, which are made up of 2 parts, which are dry weather key junction screenings, which actually don't apply to Hampden. You don't have a particularly extensive stormwater system, so you actually didn't have any structures that count under this requirement. So then we moved directly into wet weather outfall sampling, and that was completed in permit year 5. So at the end of all of that, none of your outfalls met EPA's criteria for a potential illicit connection or discharge. An illicit connection or discharge would be an instance where the sewer is accidentally connected into the stormwater. Yes.
What calendar year is permit year 5?
That was, I believe it was July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022.
Okay, so it's 21, 22.
Yeah.
Is that the last time we did sampling, testing?
Yes.
And we don't have to do it again?
So under the current permit, you would have to repeat it starting at the 5-year mark from completion. So under current requirements, you would potentially need to start it up again in June of 2027. But we are unclear about the guidance on that because of the 2024 draft of the permit. And so we're waiting to see what your next steps should be.
The issue, so the last time you did it was in 2023, I think, in 2022.
Mhm.
And then in 2023, Diane issued a memo saying that there was 7 places that they found high E. coli and nitrogen count.
Mhm.
And we didn't find that out until 2025. So I guess I'm wondering, what's the point?
Well, the memo that we released in 2023 was made available to the DPW and so the town administrator, and it was published on the website. It was also included in your annual report. So it was made publicly available a little bit earlier than that. And currently, if we're seeing some high levels of E. coli or nitrogen, that isn't actually enough to register as a potential illicit discharge. It needs to be a couple of different parameters because we're really looking for a sewer connection, which is something that the town can act on definitively. We don't currently have any guidance from the permit on any like non-source point pollution, which could be contributing to higher nitrogen or E. coli. And so we've kind of reached the end of the permit's jurisdiction. Are there any other questions? All right, so with that, for your NCMs 4 and 5, which relate to construction site and post-construction for stormwater management, your stormwater bylaw was revised in May of 2021, and that was to meet some additional and more stringent requirements under the 2016 MS4 general permit. In accordance with that bylaw, annually, Hampden tracks the number of site plan reviews, the number of site inspections performed, and the number of enforcement actions issued if a SWIP is required for any kind of construction or development project. So continuing on that, We completed a nitrogen source identification report for you in 2022. This was meant to be a desktop review of your land use in town, and it was meant to determine any areas that may have high nutrient loading. And the idea was to recognize those catchments and those potential outfalls for retrofit opportunities for what are called stormwater BMPs, or stormwater control measures. So one of the ways that we are trying to target any potential stormwater runoff pollution would be to install one of those BMPs and have the stormwater treated just before it discharges out into the environment. We have worked with the town and identified a potential project here at the new location of Town Hall. And we submitted an MVP action grant this year to get potential funding for that project. So then for the last NCM, which is the good housekeeping, basically you're just going to keep doing what you're doing. At the moment, the DPW and the highway department has ongoing catch basin inspection and cleaning. They do the street sweeping twice per year. We help out and do quarterly SWIP inspections at both the highway garage and the transfer station. And they also do the implementation of all of the operations and maintenance program activities for municipal facilities. So all of that has happened this year. What are we going to do next year? At this late stage of the permit, basically you're going to keep doing exactly what you're already doing. So you're going to continue with your annual messages. We would highly recommend potentially developing some additional messages for developers and industrial facilities. There's a lot of messaging on your website aimed at a residential audience, but having a little bit extra would serve your needs under the permit and just cover you under the permit a little bit better. We also recommend that you consider membership in the PVPC Connecticut River Stormwater Committee. They do a really great job of targeted messaging to basically all audience throughout the state. And they specifically serve all of the requirements under that nitrogen TMDL. And then moving on for NCM2, your public involvement and participation. Also, basically just keep on doing what you're doing. Your stormwater management plan is always available online, and you do this presentation annually. And if there are any other opportunities to involve the public in the stormwater program, definitely, I guess, keep an open mind, think about new ways. I know some towns in the area do like an annual Earth Day cleanup. That's an option for Hampden. And I think it's something you did in the past, but hasn't happened over the last 2 years or so. So something to think about and revisit potentially in the future. So again, for your IDDE program, currently your fieldwork is considered complete. However, as the highway department continues its regular operations, if they see any signs of a potential illicit discharge during catch basin inspections or street sweeping, any kind of maintenance of the system, they are trained and can follow up and investigate that further. So then for your NCMs 4 and 5, for NCMs 4, you're just going to continue performing and tracking all of your site plan reviews, inspections, enforcement actions, anything required under SWIPs. And for MCM 5, you're going to continue to enforce your revised bylaw and also going to continue to look for new ways to install BMPs or SCMs in places where there are high nutrient loading. And then finally for NCM 6, basically keep on doing what you're doing, continue to implement your good housekeeping procedures, continue tracking all of your annual requirements under your record keeping. Also, essentially keep advancing design and permitting, seeking funds for future BMP retrofits, and then keep doing your quarterly SWIP inspections at the highway department and the transfer station. So a quick summary of Hampden SWIP. you are actively meeting all of the requirements under the MS4 program. Your permit year 8 annual report will be due to EPA and Mass DEP on September 28th of 2026. And again, the MS4 general permit was administratively continued until any new guidance or a new permit is issued. So as soon as we have any information on that, we will bring that back to you, let you know how that is relevant to the town. And in this timeline, we're about here. So you've already done the bulk of the work. You're kind of just maintaining and continuing until any further guidance is issued. So future requirements, all of your annual reporting and tracking, which is pretty standard under the permit. There is an extra requirement in permit year 10 to complete your phase 2 map and all catchment investigations. Again, you already did this in permit year 5. And then as soon as we know of any new requirements, we will let you know. And that is everything that I have. So
Thank you.
yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for being a willing audience. If anybody has any questions, please let me know.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
All right.
We're going to take this opportunity to go off script a little bit because we have Jen here and we have John here. And I thought since we have the two people, how's the project going?
Well, we're about half before they get, anyone who's not sure know what we're talking about.
Okay, we're talking about the water district expansion project. And we were in the middle of, we've done all the road work. And now we're in the phase to connect homes, right?
Correct, yep, the pump
Okay.
station's up and running.
Yep.
The pump station, and about half the homes are connected.
Okay,
So all we got is the interior plumbing work. Anything that's exterior is done. There's some cleanup and lawn restoration. We just did a drive today.
when you say half connected, mean fully connected or?
Fully, yes, fully connected inside the homes. There's
Okay.
half the houses left to go into their homes and
Okay.
do the final hookups and put on the meters.
This is something all happening in June easily?
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay.
The contractor schedule is to be totally closed out by July, so I don't think that'll be a problem to get through it. I might some remaining punch list items, but the majority of the work should be done.
Great.
It's more getting people access to the house.
So it's coordinating basically, yeah. Great,
Picking up the phone or calling the plumber pretty much, yeah.
great. No issues?
No, I mean, a handful of like things that just come up through construction, but you know, working with with East National, your water operator and
Right.
great.
Well, I'll have to think of something else then to keep you engaged with the town then.
Think of the next project. Well, hopefully we get the BMP. Yeah. Get the MVP, we get the design and permitting, we can help you with that and then try to find what you do construction. But if you get that grant, more than likely, oftentimes you get the construction funding the next year. So we help a lot of things.
Great,
If we get it the first time.
Great. great. Okay, thank you.
Very well.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
So Hike Hampden is next on the agenda. That's gonna be Joe looking at.
I don't think so. I think we're just saying contract.
Oh, he's online? Oh, okay,
Oh, he's on one.
I'm online.
so you are, there you are. Great. So tell us about Hike Hampden, Joe. Where do we stand?
Yeah, so we're in a good place. We the committee officially decided to go with the consultant design refinery. They're based around Boston, and I've been meeting with the director, Stephanie Harrington, for a bit. She's been a good partner so far, and we're looking to move forward. So yeah, we're here to get permission to have the contract signed. That way we can set up our kickstart meeting, and we'll get this going with the committee.
Okay, so the contract is for a total of 75,000. And that money comes from grant?
Casino mitigation.
Casino mitigation.
So all the people that lost bidding on red
Yes,
Okay,
get the hike in.
whatever it takes. Right.
Money now before it's gone.
True.
Question on the back. Ed,
Oh,
What is,
I'm sorry.
what is the program?
Didn't you come last week?
No.
Dad, I can't, like, you're not watching online like the other 100 people?
They're gonna tell us where all the ticks are?
The program, if you don't mind, Joe, I'll go through it quickly. The idea was to create a Hike Hampden thing, a website which people could see the different trails in Hampden, the different opportunities in that. And this year, the casino mitigation funds, in the past, they could use it for public safety, but this year they suggested that we use it for some kind of economic development or for tourism, for people who are at the casino and they would want to come out to Hampden to hike. So they're creating a website and that type of thing, and they gave us $75,000. So these consultants are going to create the website, create marketing material, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to have a farmer's market and things like that along with a Hike Hampden type of thing.
We'll make sure we give the chief a copy of the map, so when they're lost, you know where to find them. Right.
Something from the fire chief. We just need those maps.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be fine.
Is that good? All right, thank you. I think one of the paths go right by your house that I thought.
Okay.
Right. So I will entertain a motion to assign the contract.
so moved.
All in favor? Aye. Great. So Joe was still hansling it though, right?
Yeah.
Lucky Joe. All right,
How many of those we gotta sign?
one.
I think we can just step down.
Yeah, with the sign.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not responsible for the money though.
So flowers.
Final.
Flower. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have. So the whole thing is postponed a week or,
Correct, she had a prior commitment with the Army.
okay, so pulling rank, I guess. So we have the building committee here for an update.
Right, we have the building committee, we have the architects. And a couple weeks ago, we came in front of the board for a decision, for property, I guess, acquiring property at town hall, towards town hall for our project. At that time, the board requested a sketch, which was provided to the Selectboard. So property line, proposed property line, and also a sketch from architecture. A red line, so to speak, with 6 inches past that. See like some extra land that we would be looking for. Like partial parking space at the top of the parking lot.
So the chief has also provided floor plans, which we didn't have the last meeting. I think are very valuable at this point. So original design, then he has how the current building is utilized at this point. Right, yeah. Your apparatus.
Building the original design. Proposed, recently proposed.
Show any of these on share any of these.
Yeah, if you can.
What do you want me to share?
I would share the can't put all three up. I would go with the town meeting presentation, then move to the new alternate at this point, the proposed alternate.
All right, give me one second. That says town meeting presentation.
Yes, please. So Chief, in this here, to give people an understanding, the current larger bays would be where Res 1 and C1 are.
Those are existing bays.
Those are the existing bays at this point, right? This was expanding it to the north.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. And if you can go to the alt, new bay, new 5 bay.
I don't have it.
That's there. Did you get it on? No, there it is.
Wow. Wait a minute.
So based on our conversations of the past few weeks, looking at a alternate that would pretty much put the base to the south of the building. And now you're showing us the cookie cutter, how you would put the vehicles inside those 5 bays. This is a design that is all basically front access, the North Road access, not drive-through.
correct.
And what you explained last time was that this allows for the parking behind the proposed new building, which would be,
The fire.
if you had a drive-through, you'd have a tremendous impact on finding parking for all your people coming in.
It's, yes, and plus large trucks don't have a great turning radius to get into the back of this plan. That's a tight turning radius. If was to be drive-through.
Really going around the old building, because it looked like to be about the same as what they do in East Long Meadow. Not much of a difference with that turn where they go around the right and come back in that way.
Long Meadow's got the whole parking lot before the apparatus phase. Place would be, it would only be.
No, I mean, their office, same thing here. Their office is to the right of the bays, kind of like what we're talking here.
So
they
they
come
come
in.
I mean, the steering radius if the apparatus was to come into the back, to pull into a drive-through bay.
Oh, you're saying in the back part of it?
Back, there's
Oh.
not enough, there's just not.
Not enough depth back that way.
Radius is correct.
Okay,
Steering
yeah.
radius of the apparatus.
Yeah, the part behind isn't a problem, but it's like swinging in.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
And then the other
Um,
problem being, as we mentioned, if you start putting the apparatus bay door, that's all that parking.
Lose that parking.
Not to mention that it costs, yeah, for sure.
It adds cost.
Well, yeah, but we're also talking about taking out, I'm wondering why we can't remove a bay if we do the drive-through.
So this drawing, this here is the connecting thing and the 5 new bays.
Correct.
What about the rest of what are you doing with the rest of the station?
That would be renovated for the offices, the training room, the so on and so forth.
Well, I guess the original plan had all that in there without all those bays. So how big an office you're gonna have? I mean, we gotta be realistic here. You got an office for the chief. I think the other one, you got an office for the chief, you got an
All this
inspection.
is new up here too. You know, this was rebuilt and all
Yeah,
that's new.
I know, so why do you need 5 bays? Why can't you do 3 bays? And see, these are the same. Here,
There's still 5 bays on this.
yeah, I know, but those are the same now. Those are what's there now.
Mhm.
I mean, you got
It's the same square.
you got 3 people in there 40 hours a week. The other 124 hours a week is vacant. So I can see you need an office for the chief. You need to
Training.
do the bathrooms.
Decon.
You need a kitchenette. I don't think you need a full-size kitchen, you don't need a kitchenette, and those are all in there with they only added 2 bays here, and they made that bigger.
The major difference would be the gear room, more space in the gear room. That's the addition, that's that part there. And basically the training room, and we added a conference. Those are the main difference.
So at the training room, what occurs in the training room?
Training the firefighters.
But we have space here, and this police department has a meeting and training room.
Okay, I'm not sure it lends itself as conveniently, but I get your point.
I mean, just trying to save money, that's all.
Well,
We have about 30 people that would be using your training room.
Yeah, and how many in your meeting room hold?
About 20.
How many do you think the auditorium can here hold?
Auditorium here, I don't know the code on this auditorium. I don't know how many.
200?
It is,
Mm-hmm.
probably over 200.
so the original design right now is coming back actually more money than we have than the design we're proposing. The design we're proposing is actually less expensive. It's walking the line as to the amount of money that's appropriated, granted.
Right, but I hope it is, because the town needs to save money. I'm asking if you were able to. You added 2 bays. You added 2 bays on the other one, the north side. So why can't those 2 bays just flip to the south side, and you still have the same amount of room?
It's actually 3 bays.
Well, 3 bays, even 3 bays would be less than 5 bays. I mean,
So you want us to put 3 bays where?
I'm saying if you took this here and you added basically 3 bays, you've got the 2 larger bays to give you separation for the large apparatus.
want you to do that. I'm just asking the question.
Well, I mean, if it comes out to safety, we have all the apparatus exiting all the same way now.
Yeah.
Someone, no cross traffic of firefighters responding.
You need like 4 feet on each side of the 4 to 5 feet, probably on each side of the apparatus.
The plan is to move all of the firematic equipment that's in the current station into this station. Place for the dirty uniforms to be clean and.
Okay, but by this station, you mean those 5 bays?
Yes.
Okay, so now you've got this whole other fire department. You got your firematic equipment in the 5 bays, you got your apparatus in the 5 bays. You need a couple of bathrooms, you need a kitchenette, an office for the chief, an office.
Bathrooms in the current station, if we didn't do them, are reminiscent of a 1952 gas station.
Yeah, they are.
And we need to put in showers and.
No, I understand that. I understand. We just did $50,000 for bathrooms in the senior center, not 8.3 billion. I guess that's my point. So I'm trying to figure out if you move everything over there, what do you do with the other building? I think the other building's a little bit big for 2 bathrooms, a shower, a decon room, and a meeting room.
If I was listening to what Don is saying here, which I do. He's saying that in the current station, you have 2 larger bays. They are shown, flip back to that one. Okay.
Right, you have 2 larger bays.
That show Res 1 and C1.
Yeah.
You're adding 3 larger bays to the north. If you kept the 2 bays that are there now and just put those 3 bays on the south, you wouldn't be adding 5 bays.
And you still have 5 bays.
And you still have 5 bays total, but you're only adding 3 because you're repurposing the other bays that used to be larger equipment to the small equipment. And then would you be able to add all the extra stuff you're talking about, basically with what you have in the back already? You're repurposing the older. That's the one concern, that you don't have them all consolidated.
Right. So
Right.
I thought you had. So I know.
Well, we do. We have these small ones here, right? Yeah.
Okay, this is.
I don't have this part. No, we don't. have
Well,
that.
that's the proposal. So you can see we're not adding any more offices. most of it is in the training room, the conference room, in extra bathrooms in here. Still a small day room, right? Kitchenette area or kitchen area, right? Mechanical storage, that was part of the problem with that.
Is rebuilding all this that expensive? Looks like a lot of wall moving.
There's no, so all the interior walls as they exist now, like the cinder block walls, they're gonna stay as they are.
Change the
because
doors
that's
in
the
front,
expensive,
yep,
right? Yeah, so it's not, that's actually what's saving us a lot of money, is to not move any of the structural walls that are there and just work around them. So for example, these would all be addition, right? Because there is no offices currently there, right? So that, those would be all framed and partitioned.
The training room now, right?
Correct. Yeah. And then this would become storage because there literally is no storage. So for example, if the training room is usually, depending upon how the training room is being used, you could put all the tables and chairs in there and you have a much wider open space if that's how you're going to use the room.
And you put the decon area in the.
You're right, so when we say all the firematics, everything having to do with firefighting. So the apparatus, the gear, all the stuff that keep for lack of better terms, all the cancer causing agents in one area. And then all this is consider this, I don't want to say a dirty area because that's a misnomer.
So you transition through it.
Right. So if you start mixing apparatus bay into the old building, you lose that. Right. You lose that transition. So this is clearly from a safety standpoint, the better option. We also believe from the long longevity, right? Serving the community for many years, not just some years, right? For many years that this is the better option. And as it turns out, it's less expensive.
Well, let me ask you this, because we talked about this in the last meeting, the square footage of the structure. Is it, and I'll go back to, I don't know where you went, Eric, but is it the purpose in typical buildings, you don't stack more than 2 deep?
Correct.
Is that it?
That's correct.
Because I mean, obviously I would
you,
say that obviously you've left, I don't know, 30, 40 feet to the front here to make it parallel what it used to be. And you could remove a bay and put a couple pieces here, but you'd have a piece of equipment trapped between 2 pieces.
Yeah.
And you don't do that.
So if you need the piece in the back, now you move 2 pieces of apparatus to get the piece in the back.
Right.
This way it can pretty much be aligned so that if, for example, if engine 1 responded with tanker 1, which is a typical first response for this fire department, right? So they roll the engine and a water supply, the tanker, is a first response, and it's all set.
But first blush on this, I would have said, okay, well, when we pull that wall here, get rid of a bay and stack them.
Yeah, we're also trying to eliminate a bit of a hazardous area that exists now because of lack of driveway. So when they pull the apparatus back in and swing it around, there's just not much space. This would give them a little bit more space when they pull the apparatus in to back it in. In other words, they wouldn't have to do it on the roadway, which is where the hazard comes in.
It's the cleanest option.
I understand.
The architect.
We're also from a financial option.
Yeah, well, but yeah, it's also
It is.
the least expensive because we're not reworking the old building as much. We'd have to restructure it. There's a lot of issues. So we're basically taking the old building and utilizing it for its best use, which is really back office space. And for what we need for modern fire equipment, we're building a nice new building. And, you know, we do these with space frames now. They're relatively inexpensive, comparatively speaking. I know everything's expensive.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not being funny.
Relative is, relative.
Yeah, no, I totally.
Are these metal buildings? Those metal?
This one is.
Yeah.
So from here, everything you see in green is the metal building. Yeah.
Tad, you want a question?
I didn't see where the southern border of the new building was. Is it into the parking lot of the town hall?
It's 12 feet over the line.
12 feet in.
Into the parking lot?
Over the line, so that does bring it a few feet into the parking spaces that are there.
Yeah, the line is in the grass right now.
So the edge of the building will be in the parking lot.
It will be in the
In
parking
those parking
spaces.
spaces that pull, those ones that pull up facing the fire station, it's just a rough. Yeah. This is
All right, so it would take away the parking spaces from the southern property.
Certainly subtract from them, yes, yes.
12 feet into the.
I think we knew that when we came to you and said, is it something of interest to the board?
Oh, yeah.
I think we knew that.
I think we were also hoping, we were talking a 3 or 4 bay extension to the south, not the full 5 bay, because we weren't seeing 5 bays being added to the original.
Yep.
So that's kind of
Yeah.
concern. Obviously, what you said before, I think you were saying before, you don't want to separate the apparatus. Okay, you guys run to the north, you guys run to the south, and we'll meet you out in the street, you know.
Right, right.
Makes no sense.
Right, right.
So I'm on the.
Well, and again, you don't want to put the firematic into this.
I'm in the old townhouse committee.
Mhm.
One of our options is to sell the townhouse. This devalues that asset. This devalues that parking at the old town hall. If we take away, it already doesn't have enough parking to sell it to somebody. I mean, that's already an issue. So when you extend into 12 feet, you're taking 8 parking spots, all the ones at the top of the hill,
Mhm.
used to park.
Mhm.
All those parking lots are gone. And you're taking a town asset and devaluing it by, if you approve this, to go into the parking lot.
Is it, when you say you're extending over into the parking spaces, are you extending over property line or the building?
Yes,
So the building is slightly over.
yes. So the building is,
So this is the existing property line now, the dividing line, because it's common property, but if you had a property line, that's where it would be. And then where, it's just dimension, if you can, I know you can't see it, but it says 12'6". So the building is encroaching 12 feet 6.
But you're also saying 12 feet. This is parking right now. You're also talking about 12 feet is parking. Access beyond that.
yes,
So you're going 12
that's
feet, but
correct.
you're also asking for another. But so you
For the
also,
right of
you
way.
also have emergency vehicles
Mhm.
possibly moving in and out in an area
No.
that could become.
No emergency vehicles would be going in
Okay.
and out. Firefighters would be.
Firefighters
Yes,
are coming
absolutely.
through here. This area right here, it could be, some old lady that's living in the town hall could be going out to get her trash or something. And I'm just saying that doesn't seem like a real safe way to do that. This eliminates parking. That devalues this property.
Hmm.
That's all I'll say.
Right, or I think your committee also said, do you relocate that parking to the North Road side? Do you bring parking?
In this 5 minutes, it devalues the property.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, if you're gonna make changes, yeah, sure.
In your opinion, you're saying this type of plan here is inside the appropriated budget?
Yes,
If
yeah,
you
well,
post the order today,
so
you'd hold the,
the actual plan is the phasing plan, so and we basically have plan A, B, and C. In other words, as we get the funding, just to make sure if worst comes to worst, you might not be able, in this budget, do all of the interior fit out potentially. You get the base building, and then we would do what they call alternates to add in all of the renovations as we move forward.
Mhm.
So you get the essential stuff in the budget for sure, which is the green, and how much of the blue, depending on how the funding ultimately comes in.
It's gonna rely on a good bidding atmosphere.
And it's been good.
Our fingers crossed for it. But also no more delays because the delays are costing us money.
We just bid a station in Bourne yesterday, Wednesday of last week, and it was a more complicated station, was budgeted at almost 850 a square foot, it came in at 7. So we're trying to simplify this building, keep it's, traditional steel frame, exterior, we'll buy most of that from the steel company. Keep it as simple as possible, it is, with hoping the numbers are down, and I agree, the market is good now, and this is not a sales pitch at all, but the market's good now, the sooner we can get out in the street, the better off we are.
this is a simple steel building. It's not a cinder block front, nothing like that.
Well,
This is a rehab of
yeah,
the
the
current
existing
building.
building, yeah,
Right.
which, as he was saying earlier, we're keeping all the major structural walls, we don't want to change any of that, so it's
And
really,
and it's a phase thing too.
yes,
Right.
so that gives you, making sure you'll have enough
Right.
enough money to finish at least the essential. You can always go back and renovate if you had to, it could be paint, clean it up and use it versus doing it all over nice. So it works well. It's a clean.
Oh, I mean, I understand. I mean, you could say the same thing, you know, you could do the training room, you could do it without replacing your overhead doors.
Exactly.
You know, just put the tables up.
Exactly.
And do them when you can.
Exactly.
Right.
Right. We always try to look to what makes the most sense. What phasing makes sense that you can do it later and it's not at a premium. So if you didn't, say worst case scenario, you never touched the existing building and you just did the green and that's all you had money for, you have more than that. But I'm just saying, if you did, it's still, eventually you could go in there and clean that building up. It's not like you've spent money, then you have to re-spend money to fix the other money.
Right.
You know, you're not wasting.
Not like it's not workable.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's been mentioned either, but I think it should be said that with the phasing, the fire department's able to run.
Yes.
Building the green part, that you're not disturbing the operation of, you know, this fire, these guys can come down just as they're doing today, and they can go out and take care of business without any disruption.
Which was a huge expense that we had carried in the original design when we were renovating the building, because effectively you're gonna have to leave the building.
Mhm.
So then now we have to find a home for them. We're doing one in Eggatown right now. We spent almost $1 million on a temporary structure. To house the firemen, to house the apparatus, and it's a tent. It's $1 million tent. We're gonna give it back.
I gotta say, transportation of all the stuff to there must be.
Yeah, but the tent-
expense.
The tent is the tent. In other words, the cost actually wasn't that much more.
No, I mean, just getting stuff to
But
the
yeah,
island.
the cost is $1,000 a square foot. That's,
Yeah.
it's a lot more expensive to build out there, but that's,
That hasn't all been figured out. We had to do that.
but here you build, as Jeff said, it's a great point. You build it, you finish it, you move in, and then you renovate. Simple, clean. I mean, unfortunately, it takes some land to do it.
Somebody in the old town, I'm just devil's advocate, I think this question was asked the previous time, so somebody had mentioned, well, what about not doing anything and taking the old town hall and keeping the facade at the front of the building and renovating that? And I think from what I was told, it was just way too expensive, but is that been explored all that? What's the work? Well, tell me the positive, negative. I'm just trying to be devil's advocate for the old town hall committee. Because that was brought up.
Explored in conversation only. To be honest with you, we know it's gonna be much more expensive, and our committee's not willing to spend any more of the money to demonstrate something that we already know and we're already being told is gonna be tremendously more expensive, because it would just detract from the money we have for this.
Yeah, trying to, I mean, you're basically taking, if you left a wall or two for the aesthetics of it, and now you're gonna rebuild behind it, it's all custom at that point. We gotta demo it.
But again, that's not you wouldn't be putting the vehicles over there. You'd be using it for the office space, not the vehicles though, right?
Yeah, but
That's
that's,
use it for the vehicles.
I have no idea what the plan was, but anything to do with that building.
All that was expressed with us is the interest in them keeping the facade, in other words, the facade to the original building staying, and somehow a new fire station being erected around that, utilizing that.
Mhm.
And that's just well beyond the
Well,
$8
it's everything
million
from
that
scratch at
we
that
have.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that building's not, I mean, it's best use. We're doing a school conversion now to housing. You know, that's potential housing project, or, you know, tear down the original, potentially the addition that was put on, go back to the basic building. You know.
Yeah, Ted,
We asked for you guys to come back and give us numbers on that proposal to tear down the old town hall, leave the facade, and put in a Butler building behind it. We asked you guys to come back with a number, but you can't say, we know it's gonna cost more if you don't have a number. We weren't asked to provide a number. We were asked if we would be interested.
Yeah, exactly.
Partaking in it. I was sitting there, we said, could you come back in a couple, 3 weeks and give us what you think is a good, a price, a ballpark price for doing that? We can go back and look at the tape.
yeah, I think Ted's right.
You can't say, we can't make this decision to not do that or to do this based on, we think it's gonna cost more money. You can't do it like that. Somebody needs to get a number on what it would be. We know what it's gonna cost to tear it down. It's $1 million.
Do you have a budget you can spend on that work? Because we don't.
You have $8 million.
Yeah, but even if you spend $1 million, just using that number, the $1 million to do the demo, that you get nothing for that. In other words, for us, for this project, that would take $1 million off the top. Then we gotta basically build everything we
You
have to
already took $1
do.
million off the top because you already spent almost $1 million on other stuff, right?
No,
So
but I'm
you're
just-
7.3.
Yeah, but if it costs $1 million to do the demo, we haven't even built anything yet. So now you're at 6.3 then effectively, and you're gonna run out of money, I can tell you.
10,000 square foot, 4-bay. I've looked at them. I don't believe that they're 15 million. I don't believe they're 12. But without somebody telling us with the numbers, we can't figure that out. I've got numbers. I went and looked at numbers. I called the guy from Butler Manufacturing.
Yeah, so
I talked to him.
so I agree with you. The problem is that when you do jobs like this, you have to pay like prevailing wage rates.
Quoted all that.
Well, which
Quoted all that.
I could go and buy an 80, I can go myself residentially, gonna get this Morton building. I could spend hundreds of thousands of that,
I get it.
100,000
I'm with you.
myself. But that's not how it works in this kind of construction.
I understand, and all the things I looked at and all the things I talked to the Butler guy about included prevailing wages and what they do these days. It's nowhere near 12 million. It's nowhere maybe near 10. But you guys need to prove me wrong. That's what I think you need to do. Before you decide to take over the parking lot and put a new firehouse coming into that space, you should get a number on what it's
So,
gonna cost.
I'll do respect to the board. That wasn't our charge. Okay, we're following through on our charge. The longer we delay this, the less money we're gonna have for construction, the more it's gonna cost. Just more delays is gonna end up with less fire station, no matter how we slice it up.
And we understand that, but we're also balancing that we have an obligation to the old town hall as well. And Tad makes up a good point that as we do this, it diminishes the value of what we can do with the old building. You talk about, and we've seen it in schools around here, where they've rehabbed old schools to housing. And we looked at that, Brian, met with a couple of appraisers, and they said the layout of that building, the way it is now, and the code violations make it extremely unlikely it could be done.
Yeah, I've been in the building. I certainly haven't studied it. I know just
There's
the
challenge.
traditional old, because was it always a town hall? Was it a school originally?
With the school as well, but
Yeah, that's
the half floor thing is
Yeah,
difficult.
right. Listen, I'm not gonna sit in on, I can't tell you exactly what that's gonna cost across the street, to do the town hall. My gut as a professional would tell you're gonna spend a lot more money than you're gonna spend here. We've done projects like that. I know that it's gonna be more expensive, because you still have to build the same amount of square footage. And you're now gonna store the building, you're gonna support the building, you're doing everything plus. So if you put everything's even, the Butler building's even, and we're barely affording that. Now you're gonna do the demo, do the restoration of the other building. I don't even know if you're in a historic district, that potentially won't, you potentially can't do it anyhow. I have no idea what the.
Right, but
What the
the caveat
situation
there is that it keeps the building.
Yeah,
You might say that,
how much of the building?
extra $2 million, we're
Right.
willing to put the office there
Yeah,
to keep the framework of the building in place.
Yeah.
And it's a question of how much you're willing to spend.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
And then now this part is to the north
yeah.
of the office part.
I think if you look at this as two projects, you got the town hall reno is
Mhm.
8 or 9 million. You got the firehouses, 8.3 million,
Mhm.
whatever it is. If you combine that somehow, now you have one project that's less than 16 million. It's way less than that.
Well, if
In
you're
other
gonna
words, you're saving, I think, maybe it's in my own feeble mind, but prove me wrong. That if you had two projects at 16 and you can put a firehouse there for less than that, we've solved the problem with the old town hall. We have a new firehouse.
What's this,
But the
yes,
thing,
but
the thing is that the opinion could be, we have to do the firehouse. We don't have to do the townhouse. Yes, you're right, there's an amount to it,
Right.
but that's
No,
not,
no, you're right. I agree.
Right,
I
right.
agree.
So they're gonna vote on it.
That's the biggest part of the high end of that project.
Right.
And remember too, that the facade part, saving the facade only was to satisfy, a bunch of people who want to keep part of that.
that's a
building.
nice building. I mean, the original
If
building's a
it
nice
were
building.
gone and it was just a firehouse, there you go. That's a thing. Can I ask you, Brian, I sent you a conceptual drawing in your email.
How long ago?
What's that?
How long ago?
An hour or so. If you just popped it up, I just did maybe it's not in there, but it just gives you an idea what I'm saying, as far as the old town hall.
So the problem that I would have with that is that's a lot of maybes. Maybe if there was a flavor to approve at town meeting, that kind of a bonding issue, right? If they were to pass it, what we know is this, they've already approved a firehouse renovation addition. Right? So that's kind of our charge.
I understand that, but here's the thing, we have 8.3 million. Here, the architect, engineer said, if we said, you know what, we want you to take that money and build it on this property instead. And you would look at us and say, that's great, we can't do it for that amount.
Well, you can't even replicate that for 8.3 million because we're doing the renovations at a much cheaper cost of the existing building.
Right, but I understand that, but I'm saying.
So in-kind replacement alone was more money.
Could you take that structure and do the same thing for that money? Ballpark, off the top of your head, you'd say.
I'd have to look at it. I mean, we have not.
Well, you have a cost of this, you know, like, okay, this is what we need to house all the buildings.
Correct, but then could you use that
Could
existing?
you use the
town-
existing building and do this function instead?
Yeah, could you? I'm
You
not
can do anything with enough money.
exactly.
Right.
Right. You know, tearing it down and trying to save the facades and putting sort of piecemealing something together. First of all,
Custom work's gonna be way more.
yes, it's gonna be more.
Gonna be a lot more.
If you used it for the support facilities only and you put the Butler building on the back of it, I haven't looked at the building. I don't know what condition it's in. So it may be relatively simple. It's bigger than what we need. I mean, I know that. Because there's 2 floors, there's similar size buildings to what's the existing firehouse is now. So,
And here's the other thing, then you still got this other building now
right,
that's doing nothing.
right. Well, the only advantage that if it all worked out was that then you could sell the old firehouse and that piece of property, you could give it to a developer or something.
Understood. Everything.
We've, along the way here, we have spent a year at roughly $30,000 a month inflation. And we're probably not getting it onto the street until January. That will be around $500,000 total to inflation. We have made internal adjustments to try and recoup some of that. We've changed plans. And we've gotten rid of things to put it on the wish list for the must list. And the offices we're looking at are probably going to be cubes at this point, rather than structural offices. So we're making those adjustments as we go because fund is going down. And the time frame, we started this in 24, and the town hall was still there, and we were working around that. And then it got so expensive to structurally do more than 30% of the headquarters building, that it became cost prohibitive. And that's what we came up with the theory of the Butler building. And we would save money as Mark said, we can operate one and then shift to the other project when all the apparatus is in the new bed. We were asked a couple weeks ago to have it redrawn. We've had it redrawn, and both of those parcels are about the same amount of space, plus or minus 5-6 feet. And we're just treading water here. We came in tonight to try and say, can we get that space or can't we get that space? And if we can't, then we're gonna have to figure out another plan or just scrap it all together. It's extremely frustrating to have wasted all of this time and really don't have a positive feel about where it's going.
He's not wrong, but.
You're not right.
We're treading water here.
On the board.
Right.
How much of this project is soft costs? Is there
Soft
soft?
costs are almost $1 million.
About $1 million figures.
We're gonna probably take the FF&E and do it ourselves and take some of that away from the architects.
Like I said, that's the phase B stuff if
So
you.
we're making those adjustments as we go. And it's extremely frustrating. I've done 2 or 3 of these things and I've never had one quite like this.
No, I think the one salient point you made is that we're staying in operation. while this is happening. That's
Big
a
saving.
critical thing,
Yeah, I'll be honest, the original design, we didn't know how we were gonna do that,
right?
because there's, quite frankly, there's no.
We talked
money in-
about that
no money
during
in
the thing,
that
like,
$8 million to do
Where you're
it.
storing them.
So, yeah,
Just to give you an idea.
It just gets back into, seriously, if we were gonna solve his problem, if it was 4 bays, we really wouldn't be having this much of a conversation.
Still,
Because we wouldn't be changing the property line. You possibly would have better opportunities for the building in its original property.
You still need the pass repass easement. You'd have to have an easement to get to the back parking lot regardless.
That's okay. I feel better about that, a common driveway type thing.
Yeah.
And we're not
just
talking,
bringing
we're
it-
not talking about this is 100 cars a day here either.
I just
Right.
want you to know
Yeah.
that it's not clean in the sense we'd still need to have a pass repass easement on that back on the current lot.
Yeah, I still think you have an opportunity for a driveway around the north side too, if you wanted to.
One of the grades, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So no way you can get done 4 bays.
This project has been going on for 10 years. I mean, we came originally, if you recall, 10 years ago, with the addition out to the south side of that.
Yeah, we put
And at that time, the board suggested that we get the feasibility study done. We did that, we went through the programming, went through the associates, and John, they drew up. And we've gone to another architect, we're at the final stage with this architect, now we have a funded budget project.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that the town hall, when you moved out of town hall, you probably should have a plan for it before you moved out, my honest opinion. Before you moved over here.
You mean what to do with the building at that point?
I think that discussion should probably happen sooner.
Could have been, but we had, to, again, take advantage of what we did. Again, those costs were going up as well. What we spent rehabbing this building would have cost more if we waited another year.
I understand, so you understand what we're.
I don't understand what you're saying. A lot of things up in the air, tough to keep them all balanced. Tad has a good point. Are we hamstringing them by cutting into their area for what they need to do with that thing? You know, where you're pretty much just saying, okay, you know what, anything you do with it, you gotta rip down the back half of the building, and now you gotta build it 10 feet shorter because you lost 10 feet. Whoever takes it over. Which again, may be an option because the layout's so odd in the northern part of the building. Maybe you can't do much with it with a half floor, half.
Different levels.
The half thing is pretty hard. Right. That's why I mentioned at the last meeting, okay, maybe you shut off the basement part. And the only thing you keep active is the library floor. In which maybe requires less upgrade.
You're still gonna have to put in a cistern and sprinkle those floors as well.
Now, if you close off the bottom floors, I mean, just close them off from access and basically say they're not accessible. Now you only have lift and that's it, but we're not giving proper guidance to the town hall committee. You're on the committee. What are they looking for? What do they expect out of this?
Well, we're at a point where we got 5 options. We're gonna narrow that down, you know. One of the things is that if any amount of land they lose is gonna affect the value of the property, what you can do with it.
Right.
If we decide to do this, then we're gonna say, okay, well, you got a building with no parking in the back. Or no parking at all. I mean,
If you keep that entrance the way it is now, if you change out the entrance, you pick up 10 feet of the
yeah,
north
and you
part of the
gotta,
building.
and you gotta understand that whatever is done with that building is gonna cost the town millions of dollars more. Talking 8.3 million here, you're talking 1.5 for the water district, you're talking,
Right.
who knows, 8-10 million for.
And we did talk about, we floated the idea of an omnibus bond type thing to make the payments schedule up. These are capital projects. They're 20-25 year projects.
Was ever decided about the old townhouse, and I disagree with the chief, was ever decided that it's not gonna happen in 2 or 3 or 5 years. If you look at any other town that's done something with their old townhouse, it's 10, 15 years that they're out because, you know, they do it in phases, they get a developer, they do a few things, they, you know, I mean, in East Hampton, it took, you know, they just got a grant from the federal government, but it took them 20 years to do that
Because it's also
cityscape.
not high priority too. I mean, the firehouse is a priority. Rehabbing this building's a priority. The water district's a priority. And the other one needs to be addressed, but not phase A. Like we were saying, you know.
Does this
We do
literally
pay-
limit, does it
We do pay
literally,
50, what'd you say, 50 a year, basically keeping the townhouse
well,
protected,
50,000 a year?
50 a year, yeah.
Does this, does away with all the parking essentially, right? Because you're in the back.
So, sorry, go ahead. Chief. So you're talking about those spaces that actually kind of face the fire station?
Yeah.
Yeah, it pretty much does. Yeah, it certainly reduces the length of them, whether they could still be.
Yeah, but then you gotta have a
will say
driveway.
Those were double spaces. I've seen, I've gone into the town hall plenty of times. There'd be a car up in the space and then people would park behind that car. So if you came down, you still have a space there.
Very possible.
Right. So
I mean, the issue with the old townhouse is this, if you keep the old townhouse and you're, let's say, everything goes good, and you renovate it and you make it a cultural center, or you make it a place for, you know, small business thing, or like that. Where do you put the cars? That's the thing. You know, you got Green Meadow School over there. You know, you don't want people parking over there. You know,
So there's the suggestion that was made of making the parking off North Road, but.
when you kind of take out that nice grass there, you know, it's kind of nice.
No, there's no free lunches, are there? Right? Everything has a cost associated.
You truly have that problem exists now, so if you have a large.
Just change subject real quickly. Have you ever had any problem with the fire trucks coming out while they're picking up their kids?
No, they have not.
So we have a decision to make here. We need, go ahead.
I'm gonna abstain because I'm on the building.
Oh, that's a good one, Don.
I have one question. To them.
Yeah.
And it's a good question because this still has to go out to bid. So do you think when it goes out to bid, that 8.4 million or whatever it's gonna be, do you think that there's somebody gonna come in, and do a rate 4 million or 4 million, whatever?
We're going to structure it with alternates such that we can get it down with the must things. And then the other things will be based on the bidding environment.
Okay, perfect.
So, I mean,
So the big thing is getting the equipment bay bid and everything else after that is
Right.
how much is left.
Sort of oversimplified, it's really more we need is the 12'6" by, what's the depth of the building? The
74.
74, so we need, call it 13 by 75. That's what we're asking. So 13 feet wide, 75 feet deep from the existing
I'm
lot.
sorry, you need A and R on the property to give you more land.
Correct.
Right.
So
And we
we
talked-
really only need a swath that's 13 feet wide by the length of the building. On the common, because it's a common lot.
Well, it's owned in common now, so, right, yeah.
So there's no reason that the rest of that property couldn't be utilized. We don't need it. We just need the pass repass to get in and out. And that swath the building property. That's it. It's only gonna affect, so 75, you're losing 8 spaces for that.
Are you locked into that separation between the old building and the new building?
So they have to be separated for structural reasons.
That's what I'm asking. That structure
We're
building,
pretty much like, could you pick up a foot or two? Maybe if I looked at it earlier even today, you know, could you pick up a foot or two? But that whole area where the gear room is, it's already tight. So, you know, there's always a will and a way. You're not picking up 12. We just think the death in that regard. You still need some. Could we get it a little thinner? Yeah, potentially. Maybe go to 10, but it's not, you're still gonna lose 8 parking spaces.
yeah, but they're also, like I said, those parking spaces, you see the lines there for the cars. But many times I've gone in and a library day, the kids are there, whatever, cars are parking behind those cars.
Yeah.
And still people are able to drive behind them.
Yeah, there's a good amount.
I'm saying they're double linked, but you've been there, Ed, you know what I mean? So,
There may still be, I don't think it's been mapped out, there may still be enough
Yeah.
to put parking spaces in there.
nice.
But,
So we need to take action to get these
You can always angle.
true as well, right? I mean, those could be parallel spaces too, whichever.
Do you need does it have to be a setback?
We asked that before, they should reach out, and I asked Lance, but he said that was decades ago, he didn't remember.
Go to the zoning board anyhow because of how close the building will be to a new established property line.
Mhm.
So it may have to go to the zoning board, I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, not everything applies to municipal buildings, very few things, but setback may be one of them, I think.
Correct.
Right.
If it remains town property, that's a moot point. If they sell it, then it have to go to the zoning.
Mhm.
And you can't do it with 4 bays.
Well,
Bottom line, we're asking, can you do a 4-bay?
You can do anything, right? The reality is it's gonna serve the department not as well and ultimately the community not as well.
You're not future proofing.
What?
You're not future proofing the building. If you go to 4 bays, you basically, you don't even have enough room for the equipment that you have now. And there's zero room.
No, 4 bays, I'm saying 4 bays, you don't want to go to 4 bays extending further because then you're into 3 stacking, which is a bad thing, which you're saying is a bad thing.
Yeah, there's some things in print that aren't drawn in there, like the cascade machine, hose drying, this is compressors, workbenches, none of that's drawn into that.
We do lots of fire stations. This is not, nobody here is asking for pie in the sky. This is, it's smart for the community, it's smart for a long-term investment. You take a bay off, you're gonna save a little bit of money. Really, and I really mean that. It's not a straight line. You're not gonna save $700 a square foot by the bay.
You're still gonna.
You're only moving a wall,
Right.
basically.
You're saving roof.
You're saving roof and and I'm not being funny. I'm not trying to be.
No,
I know, I got it.
So you're not gonna save a lot of money and you're not gonna have the opportunity to really meet the needs of the department now and into the future. I think that's a mistake. Just, and I really mean that.
Yes, sir.
We had made gestures to the community that we would take care of the immediate future. We feel that we're taking care of it for 15 years. Beyond that, who knows? We take care of the health and safety of the people who work there without luxury, but we need to have function. We're not trying to build this for form. That this is gonna be an award-winning structured building, no offense, Jeff, but we need the function out of the building.
I understand.
This gives us the
I
function.
understand that, but I'm asking what our next step is, and Lance brings up a good point here. That we could say, okay, we're gonna go to planning with a new A&R. Somebody, Gary, whatever, draws a plan. But then do we need to go to ZBA afterwards to ask for a variance because now we're 10 feet from the property line? And what's that do to your schedule? You know, we're scheduled out. Now it's a month before we have a public hearing.
Well, that's common property, I would suspect.
Right now, we can do the work because it's owned in common.
Correct.
And draw the line after.
Correct.
Whatever, right. You know, because.
But it sounds like it's gonna stay town property for foreseeable future, so.
Well, while it's being done, and then if the townhouse committee wants a plan where they're gonna market it, at that point, we need to draw a line so they have.
Correct.
Which, with that point, we'd have to do it in coordination with zoning.
Right.
Whatever.
Then you, same thing, you say you just draw a line, literally draw a 10 foot, if it's a 10 foot offset, I'm not sure, but you could just draw it around the box, you don't need to, we don't need to move the whole property.
No. The only thing we'd need to verify, and this might be you, Brian, is just verifying that this is considered owned in common property in a single lot. My experience in planning is after X number of years, it's owned in common with the same owner. And that's,
I think there should be conversations with the zoning enforcement officer.
that he would consider it that way.
Make sure that
Okay,
all of this is.
okay,
All of this is
next steps.
sure, right. But then we need to give them the go-ahead to start the plan. Like you say, it's not getting cheaper. You're saying your committee is locked in. This is the plan that works. This is a phase A, phase B inside the budget.
What's also critical is we're getting, as was said earlier, you know, we're basically looking at a beginning of the year, bidding January, February of next year, so timing the market perfect for the end of the winter, going into spring work. You know,
I wanna start in the winter time.
No, we want to get the bid locked
we're
in.
bidding in the winter,
Yeah.
You know, it's a perfect time, and the more time, it's true. I mean, the market's been great. We're not seeing hyperinflation by any shot like what we were seeing, in 21, 22, 23, once things got going. So, the market's actually dipped right now. So we're in a good place. Where is it gonna be there in January? I can't predict that, but probably still gonna be okay.
All right, so
Housing starts are still fine.
In the old building, so some of that work, we need to do the bathrooms, obviously, and stuff, but some of that work, like the gym, the exercise room and the lounge, and that could probably be put off.
Exactly, that's the way they're doing the plan now, that's all part of phase two. It's gonna be in the design, we're gonna bid it, if we can't afford it, you'll have it ready to go and.
Yeah,
alternates that are just pulled out.
Correct.
that's just design right now, that the shaded part, the existing fire station, it's just a design that the architect did. The building committee hasn't approved any of that.
And again, look, it's a bid. If we decide not to award the bid, we go back somewhere else. But
You got a lot of decisions to make. We need a direction. We're sort of not, we are dead in the water right now.
Good. So I think it's incumbent upon the board to basically make a move and give them the go ahead to either drop the final plans, bid documents basically for this design. Is that what you're looking for?
Pretty much, yeah. And then we'll work with the ZBA and everybody to, make sure that we're not putting you in a box that you can't draw a line later on or whatever that you need to do.
And you want to step back, want to recuse on this, or?
I haven't heard a motion yet.
I'm just saying. So I'm trying to figure out what motion we're crafting here.
You're the chairman, the chairperson.
Thank you. There we go. So I guess vote to authorize the building committee to work with their architects to draft up bid documents for the plan as submitted. Alt new 5-bay building to south, basically, with alternates for renovation of the current station.
Did you say you were going to entertain a motion?
I'm entertaining that motion. Yes.
So moved.
Second for this, make a discussion.
Nobody like you, Don. Nobody like you. All right, so is there any discussion? No, I see. All those in favor of the motion? Aye. Aye.
I will vote.
It's drafting plans. That's all this point.
I understand what it is. I understand what it is. But you know me, I'm a person who likes to make a decision and just get the effing thing moving. That's freaking, not anything else.
Ruth will get it right.
So I believe also that, as before, I cast other votes, that I think the board has to have a unanimous thing to move these things forward, so I'll vote yes.
Thank you. There's an extra cookie for you next week. All right, so that's yes to kick it along. Right on schedule now, aren't we? Fast. Go to a ban and everything else on the agenda. What? Go to a ban and everything else on the agenda. See you next week. Sorry, Chief.
What do we got now? Oh, God, I got the police chief.
Police chief. No, you have you have somebody for a new position? You're up.
Well, good
Yeah, no, yes or no?
Yes,
You like this person?
I do.
You recommend this person?
I certainly.
I'll entertain a motion. That's what happens when it runs long. Like, is this the one you expressed before that you're gonna need to go to the academy? And you're like incredibly licensed already, aren't you? Like,
Well, yeah, so I have a clinical mental health.
right,
background.
yeah.
I didn't get.
We're really looking forward to that for some of us, if you don't mind, like moonlighting a little bit. Thank you.
So what's the deal? Why do you want to be a cop?
And work with him.
I wanted to be a cop actually when I got out of high school. And my goal really was to help people in any way I possibly could. I took a different direction outside of high school. And now that where I am now, co-response for Wilbraham and Hampden, And it seemed like now was the perfect time for me to take that leap. I haven't stopped talking about being an officer for a while.
Okay. Steve, you mentioned before, there's a process here, obviously an academy thing, and for the next academy is not until the fall.
So next academy start date is September 21.
Right.
It's our local academy in Holyoke. Potential graduation date is about mid-February. And then we have a field training regimen that she would go through. So that's the process. Unfortunately, the timing is such that there's an academy currently. However, the encouraging part is that this academy is already scheduled and they are set to go with it. So there are some steps to be taken, but with a conditional offer to Amanda tonight. Then we move forward with some other steps, obviously scheduling medical, psychological, those things. We continue our full background, which she's already been through quite a portion of that. And then there's some steps to be taken to get her actually enrolled in that academy, which I've already started those tentative steps, but I have to wait, obviously, for your approval to really move forward with that. There are plenty of seats available in that academy. Again, starts September 21.
There's no other location.
No, the other locations, there'll be another potential academy start. I believe it's scheduled in July. But then we're talking quite a distance and the travel time and commitment and those costs to get. Because this is not an academy where the recruit stays. So now to add an hour and a half to 2 hours a day travel time or potential is just.
Oh, I agree. I'm just
not realistic.
Yeah, it's not fair.
But I think this is a good solution, even though we have to wait a bit of time. We're getting a good candidate, as you've seen. Amanda's resume, you've seen her CV, it's pretty extensive. And we already know her, and that's so for the past 5 months, Amanda's been working through CHD, through that grant with Wilbraham and Hampden. She's been here every Wednesday as a co-response clinician. So she already knows every officer in the department. She knows a lot of the EMS folks, the fire department folks, learning the town. So I think this is a good fit.
But that's the only role.
She's been a response clinician.
Correct.
And that's the only role she can continue. And I apologize, talking third person here. The only role you can continue in until, yeah, really. You can continue until completion. You have to stay as the response person. Okay. And you're good with that? Okay. I can't see any negatives here. The chief recommends. Amanda's well qualified and already in the system. So. Motion to offer the position to Amanda Rivera, subject to completion of the academy and all applicable certifications.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard.
Again, you're already aboard, but welcome aboard again. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks for your patience.
Thank you. Long drive home, Dan. I'm sorry. Oh, hey, thanks for checking on the car while I was away. Making sure it was still in the driveway.
Walk around the house, you should check the camera.
Now he's got me worried. Didn't know I had a camera.
I know you do.
Yeah,
A little weird.
yeah, really. Hey, Mark, come on up. Yes. I'm gonna go back to the room and get the cookies.
It's like an all department meeting.
Huh?
It's like an all department meeting.
No kidding.
Right.
Who's online? All right, yeah. All right, so just because we are way behind schedule here, so Mark has talked to town administrator, myself about, and this is something that's come up in prior years, much like in other departments where there's a lead person in the department. And I think we did this for fire a while ago, Donna, the three people in the fire department, one's at a supervisory level. And you want to do the same thing with the people in your department and create a position that's more of a supervisory position or foreman person, if you will. Yes. Correct? Correct. Okay. And you've worked this out with Brian, the description?
Yep.
Yes.
The job description.
Okay, great. Yeah. And then you would advertise it internally first.
The plan, if, you know, if approved, yes, would be to, actually start that as early as tomorrow, an internal posting. And I can, talk with Ryan. I mean, I think usually there's 7 days in-house. 7 days.
Number 5. Number 5 there. Okay.
Let me ask you this question. The problem is you're having trouble finding people, right?
Finding and keeping. Finding and retaining, yes. And we're not alone.
Which brings me to the question, what do you, this is a philosophical question. Should have waited for her. It's a philosophical question. Well, you've got a position, and I know it's happening in other towns too, but these are pretty good jobs. I mean, you know, they got a good salary. I think if I recall, I think our people here, you know, with overtime during the winter and that stuff, you know, made in the high 70s. You get 75% of your health insurance is paid for. You get 12 or 14 vacation days. It's kind of a nice town to work in. It's not like you're, you know, out Route 91 or something like that. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And I can try to give a quick answer of what I've seen, what I've talked to other, you know, surrounding communities. One thing is the license. There seems to be an issue with obtaining the licenses and then using them for jobs like, you know, careers like this.
CDL you're talking about.
The CDL, yes. They've gotten a little bit harder to obtain recently in the last few years.
Costly.
The cost, yeah. The cost has gone up. The other thing too is, and we've talked about this, I don't know if it's a generational thing or people just aren't, they're always looking for the next best thing and they're not sticking around and planning a future, you know, a retirement.
But tell me, it's nothing. You get retirement.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I see the same thing in my business too. And I had a lady who retired at 91, you know, and now the new ones, you know, I swear they come in and half time they're looking at their phone like, where's another job? You know, and it's a different ethic or whatever you want to call it.
I remember, yeah.
I'm right or wrong. And you're right about the CEOs, but also the CEO license, because when I go to David, getting, high blood pressure, your health is one of the.
So they're clamping down a little on it. Stuff like sleep apnea, so on and so forth.
All right. So how does the board feel about this new position?
How's this going to affect the collective bargaining agreement?
I think it's page
union, right?
Right. He still will be.
He will be or won't be?
Will be. Yeah.
Well, how's he going to?
Brian, you researched that a little bit. What was your thought?
So within the agreement under management rights, it gives the highway superintendent the right to promote within.
Okay.
There's actually so it's two or three separate clauses under management rights. The right to promote, the right to create policy for hiring, retention, so on and so forth. Also the right to establish different grades, classifications, so on and so forth.
Well, that would be the next question. Again, we have a contract that establishes compensation. Is there enough there to provide, if you're promoting somebody and you're giving them, much like the supervisor on the police detail, additional compensation, is there language there to cover that? Because you're not making somebody foreman for the same money they're getting the regular guy is getting, right?
Yeah. But I think our opinion is it's within management rights to do that. As it's laid out.
Okay, well, we pay you for your opinion, so, okay. That being said, how's the board feel?
Yeah, I think it's tough. It's tough to retain, keep good talent. And from what you voiced, he's as deserving as any.
Yep.
So,
good luck posting and, come back with, entertain a motion to authorize the change to the highway department personnel to advertise this new position.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for staying, Mark.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
So you've been, obviously you heard the conversation with Jen and with John. In your opinion, the project's going well as well. The water district upgrade.
I don't think I was here for that, John.
Oh, they're saying they're pretty close to done, they feel. And you talked before about that's in your plan for resurfacing after full completion, some of the roads.
It's already done.
Great.
Yes, we're just waiting for.
Side.
We're waiting, I'm just waiting on the line painting.
South Munson and South Munson, Glendale.
Glendale, Scannick, a portion of Main Street, and then maybe a portion of South Munson.
Okay,
May have
great.
to do just the yellow lines.
All right. Where's the loader?
I can check on that tomorrow and send.
Yeah, we got to.
I haven't checked in a week or so.
Okay, well, Eric's got a bottle of sparkling wine. He wants to break over the front of it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, caught me off guard.
And then he cleaned it up with the loader all the collapse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time.
All right. Don, you want to hire somebody new?
Me?
Yeah, it says right there.
They do.
Yep. So we've been trying to establish a transfer station attendant. When we have call outs of the individuals, because currently right now the Board of Health Coordinator is covering a lot of those hours. So put out an advertisement. We received interest from a gentleman named Clark. I believe it's pronounced Kadis, Kadis. We interviewed him last week and recommend that he be appointed as a transfer station attendant substitute.
As needed, or is this a rotation thing?
It would be an on-call basis.
Okay.
When they need some.
Is this person retired? So they're like, available?
This person's younger than I am. They're self-employed. They have their own farm. South Road.
Did they make Heritage Farm?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where the clam bake was? Okay.
Seem very knowledgeable.
Okay, so this is a Board of Health thing. Make a motion that we appoint Clark Curtis to the transfer station attendant list.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mark is on board.
Okay, so I went to the senior center building committee meeting today. It was reported that we had 2 bids. One from Window World for just under 50, and one from someplace that must be using stained glass from torn down churches for 200. You saw the difference in price? Yeah.
It's 4 times.
Yeah.
It's 5 times the price.
Seriously, it must be Christ Cathedral in New York. They took the windows from.
I think this is a quote for the old town hall window.
It's not just about, but as we said,
why is
sometimes, they hope nobody else bids and they'll get it. Right. So it does happen. Right. Either way.
Window World was the best.
Right. Window World for well inside the budget we had.
Yeah.
So, I did a motion to.
Second.
On favor of awarding the contract to Window World. John, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Ranking right through it. The next thing would be actually just a quick report. Then the chap who's been working with Herb for the HVAC upgrade here gave us a rendition of what we could expect there. pretty good talk. A lot of incentives out there. I really think there's a good chance that they have 200 left for that work. And I think it'll be well under that. And again, based on the fact that what we're paying here. So a lot of government incentives still out there if we make the move. That part's good. Okay, ZBA wants temporary help. I got no problem with that. Anybody? I don't even know. I don't even know if it's a motion.
Temp help.
Yeah, basically. Which is it? We've already, Rose did that last year. Rose,
She did.
yeah. So does it really need a motion, or are you as a HR personnel person, can't you just approve that on your own?
As long as I know you're all right with it.
Yeah.
As long as you sign the.
I think the board,
We'll sign the page.
I think the board's fine with the town administrator helping out with personnel needs. Yes, okay.
We're good with that.
Okay. Town council discussion. As Brian said, he had one response. KP, and we talked about maybe perhaps having them into the stuff with us. I did have a conversation with a couple other attorneys, one who was the town attorney for Wolverham, and said he has people they think should be interested if they knew more about compensation. I did make the point that this is not a fixed amount. We have a budget, and honestly, and Don, you've been there just long, you know, we could spend 5,000 on legal in 1 year, we could spend 50,000 on legal in 1 year. It's just what happens. You don't know. So it would need to be a firm that would be fine with, look, just because we appropriate 50,000, you're not getting every dime of that 50. But I do think KP's got a great reputation, but they're not local. Yeah,
But they represent like 40 towns out here.
I know.
You know, they represent a lot of towns out here.
They do, but I'd like to bring them in for a talk. I think it'd be appropriate.
Are we gonna have legal? Who wants to bring them in for a talk?
Yeah, next week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I thought there was a punchline to what Don was saying.
No, I think it was pretty much it. Good. All right.
Fine.
If we're not happy with it, we cast the net again. If we are. And I think Brian made the point, look, you don't need to try them forever. We could try them for a year and throw it back out again.
Yeah.
Actually, we worked with Doherty for 20 plus years on basically no contract. They were just the ones we picked and stayed with them. And if you shop it around, the rate we were paying them was less than a lot of firms.
Oh, yeah.
We won't see that rate.
No, that's the
You
problem.
won't see that again.
No.
It was.
So the thing I do like about KP Law, though, the bigger firm is there. One thing we didn't get from Doherty is heads up on a lot of stuff that was in the
You had the question
legislature
before,
or
like, oh,
things
this
like that.
came through a change in
Yeah.
MGL got
And
it.
stuff like that, you know what I mean? That they-
If they're doing it for somebody else, maybe we're not paying for it because they already tilled that
They already
ground.
got it.
Yeah, you hope. Well, okay, so let's ask someone to come in, yeah, please. 4th of July celebration, Don.
4th of July celebration, I just thought, see, it's the 250th anniversary of the country, we should do something. We got this nice gazebo out here. Have a band concert on July 3rd or 4th.
Andy wants a cage fight. I heard that.
Huh?
Cage fight too? I heard, yeah.
Heard about it. Freedom fighter.
Freedom fight, that's, yeah, exactly.
And so we need some bunting and we need a band. The band's $250. Town events.
It's a too short notice, and I worry about, when people on 4th of July do things, they have plans and
Yes,
stuff
they
like
do.
that. So.
We also have the rock.
What they do is they
Andy
come-
got the rock
The
thing
following
next
week, we have the rock.
What they do is they come to the band.
We got the thing the following
I think
weekend.
we should try it. July 3rd, Thursday night. No, Friday night.
No, that's.
Got a lot of fireworks going on.
Is the fireworks, is East Long still doing that?
No, they're doing a laser light show.
Oh, nice. All right, I like the idea of July 3rd.
We'll try that. We'll
Okay.
try it. If it doesn't work, if it's just the two of us tooting a horn there, it'll be fine.
I make a motion, we make Don in charge of the July 3rd celebration.
Okay.
All in favor?
And Lauren will be
Thank
my
you.
assistant and.
Lauren won't even be in town. You kidding?
Your house.
Like, yeah, how many people, we got an invitation to walk in the 4th of July parade in East Long Meadow. How many are showing up with me this year? You didn't come last year, Don,
No, I didn't.
or the year before.
Oh, you
I
know,
don't think you've ever been there.
I've never been there. I've been in East Long Meadow, but never.
I grew up there. I
You're
used to
not,
go.
you're not gonna be there either.
I'm gonna be on vacation.
I find, I'll be holding the banner, when we had the town board selectman banner. I'll be holding it by myself.
One year I'll do it. I'll do it, I promise.
It says, mama. Actually, it probably says board of selectmen. I can't use it anymore.
We're back out.
Yeah, let's go. Next meeting, we'll open select board. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
All right, good. Come up with some dates.
So I did hear from, there were some emails going back and forth, and then I got an invite for, sort of a staff level planning meeting, June 17th. To talk about.
So you and Nick are gonna talk about it?
So myself, I was on it, Nick was on it, and then the school,
Michelle?
What's the plan?
administration. I guess it's just I don't know.
Right.
But I guess it's to just kind of scope out what the plan is going to be.
Is that,
A planning meeting for the plan.
is that, have your people call my people? We'll set this up.
Yeah.
Okay. I would think we'd be
Yeah.
fine having another substantive meeting in July or August where we have a good agenda. The last meeting was the best of all the meetings we'd had, honestly. And if we could have another purposeful meeting like that, probably at the Wolverhampton Country Club, that's fine with dinner.
Other special events tab.
Yeah, they've got one. They got a gift to go. They get paid.
No flowers.
Yeah, work it out and bring it forward. And then that dovetails right into the next thing. Summer schedule.
Summer schedule.
Right. So Ryan, you gave us some dates. I mean, some were,
I'm out the
You're what?
29th.
huh?
I will be at Gillette Stadium on the 29th.
Oh,
It's a Monday
June?
of June.
yeah, I'm not worried about,
Who's playing?
That was a round of 32 game.
No,
I don't know yet.
oh, you don't know.
The
right?
one on the 19th also.
okay, but is there,
Morocco.
okay, in July and August, do you have any weeks off?
Not Mondays.
Not a whole week? Oh, okay. How about you, Eric?
I do.
And,
I'm away July 6th through 10th,
okay,
and then again, August, I believe it's 17th through the 21st, I believe.
okay.
We just double check. The week before.
Oh, this,
Okay, that kind of actually worked out well. So if we did the every other, because this goes right around, we would do the 13th, 27th, 13th, 27th, 10th, and 24th.
13, 27, 10th.
24th. So that would miss your 2 weeks off.
Yep.
Yep. And again, we would just say, these are proposed ones. We can always schedule a meeting if something comes up that's urgent.
13, 27.
Some of those I could always.
10th,
I won't be here the 10th. It's the only day that's.
So
that's fine.
what's the first time we meet in July?
13th.
Never mind, 10th for
We're
14th.
we're gonna meet
I'm wrong.
30th of June, right?
Yes, yeah. No, 20, yeah, we'll push it to 30th because of,
Disregard.
you only have, how many tickets do you have for the game?
5.
Oh,
Well, 4, scrolling by 4, and then 1 somewhere else in the stadium.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm wrong.
So we're meeting at Gillette.
Yeah.
I see some tickets, somebody here does.
30,
You must get a deal.
That's a good point. I'm
I was
looking
wrong,
to see
by
what
the
the preseason games are for the Pacers.
It's the 10th or the 14th last.
Oh, 10th.
I'm wrong. I just confirmed with the boss. I'm wrong.
what's going on now?
Apparently now he's got a date on the August 10th.
August 10th or the 14th is what I'm off, but I can zoom if we need to. I can zoom it for both if I had to.
So, but you're off on the 20th also, right?
Of
July.
Nope,
Or you're not?
nope. July 20th, I'm here.
Oh, okay. So if we do the 6th, 20th, 3rd, and 17th, you're fine on all those?
Yes.
Okay.
3rd, 17th.
Yeah.
That's changed now.
Yes. Look, Don, come here every Monday. If you see us, you see us. If you don't, go home.
The 6th of my anniversary,
Oh,
58 years,
of bliss? Or just 58 years?
58 years.
So we're avoiding that day.
He's bringing a cookie home as a present. Yeah.
You probably won't even be around.
Okay, so that tentatively, that's our summer schedule for July and August. Again, meetings to fill in if something comes up. We gotta.
The one thing that's kind of hanging out there is the conservation restriction for OPACUM. And we have a fuzzy timeline about.
Okay. That's fine. And we'll take in either sometime in June. Brian, last meeting in June or whatever, we'll do the motion for one person to sign the warrants on the off weeks. Right. Yeah, and report the amounts at the following meeting.
And other things for 27, board liaison assignments.
Mhm.
And we do appointments, right? As well.
Yeah,
Joe.
I would make right now, since we didn't change the board, I would assume we'll keep the liaisons the same at this point. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to change. Speaking of liaisons, Mr. Fiber Cable Guy. So the senior center is having horrendous trouble with their cable line.
Right.
The phones are dropping, their computers to their VoIP. So Entree came in, they changed out the router. We tried doing change out the modem, when the charter says they don't know what we're talking about. We have a trouble ticket that Barim put in a month ago that they're not responding to. So my question is, why don't we change them to fiber like the other town buildings? The problem is, I think we probably pay more per month for fiber than we pay for cable. Right now, they're paying $160 a month for cable, which surprised me because I pay 90 something for cable at home, which is just unreasonable. And they would just pay for internet because part of the cable agreement gives them free TV. So all they're paying it for is, I don't know why they're paying more than a home access.
Right.
So I guess the question would be,
Where does the fiber line? Does it go right?
Go to the police station.
And that's,
should we even do a dark hookup from the police station?
but is that a dedicated just for the police or is that shared?
I don't know. I mean, we have fiber here through, you think it's through Whip City?
The fiber here is owned by Charter.
Is run by Charter?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we know how much we spend a month on that?
We're not into the fiber here.
Huh?
We're hooked into the coax here.
We didn't get fiber.
Nope.
I thought we were gonna, because they had fiber run here for the school, I thought we were just gonna change over to that fiber.
So the fiber to the school's dark fiber back to Mid-Chuck.
Only that?
Yeah.
Can we use that and not pay for it?
You could have some.
I mean, we pay 20% already, right? A couple tech guys that looked at it.
It would have been more expensive to use the fiber here and get around the same levels.
Did somebody ever call from the senior center, like say, hey, I'm representative of the town, this is what?
Yeah, that's what Barim did, and he got a ticket number for them to fix it. And since then, nothing. And like I say, they're dropping, I mean, to be on the phone with a senior and the phone will go out. And all of a sudden the computers will go out. So we need a better solution.
Yeah.
Either we need better access,
yeah.
get us back to,
Well, I can tell you,
where the hell are we with Charter?
I know personally I could speak to it, is that at my house, I had frequent drops and I could have sworn it was my wireless that was going on. The wireless, you really can't blame on the ISP because you don't know. But when I upgraded, all my drops went away. All my drops went away.
So if we can get them to agree to the modem swap.
I can tell you that's my internet is.
Because I'm seeing it at home.
99% more stable. I can't remember the last.
You get your modem from.
I would drop all the time before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So. And I wasn't singing them praises in the past, but
no, I know.
So far they're doing pretty good.
Well, keep in mind, they're also doing that big fiber upgrade in town, aren't they?
Yep.
How's that coming along?
I think.
Yeah, that's done.
Yeah.
I think 2 weeks.
So you could actually hook up for fiber?
Yeah. Well, no, it's hybrid fiber. So it's fiber to the node and it's coax to the,
And that's
to the
the
house.
upload, download
It's
map.
upload down, yeah, right now, when I called, I could get up to 2 gigabytes up, 2 gigabytes down,
Mhm.
which is pretty substantial. I just do one up and one down, that's my own personal thing. But they're saying that in the future, they're gonna do fiber to the home, which can provide a higher level of speed, but that's future, but for right now,
Okay.
this increased speeds are available for the residents.
Right. Okay, board reports.
I have nothing to report.
I have nothing, but I know that the planning has a pretty aggressive schedule going forward the next couple of months.
Nothing.
Lauren,
Fine.
Ryan, nothing? Okay.
South Road project, bridge project kickoff meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m.
At the actual bridge or by,
I believe it's Churchill's.
no, here's,
think so.
really? Oh, well, not teams?
I talked about the Wilbraham Middle School planning meeting. Regional dispatch amendment that I had drafted, I sent to Wilbraham. And I think both the Selectboard of Wilbraham and Belchtown are going to take that up. Thanks to the regional dispatch for 1 year.
Mhm.
While we
So that's the funding we have in place and they agree to it.
we have disconnected the one of the wells here that we were required.
Oh, we did. Okay.
That's DEP. That one's been disconnected. We're waiting on the water test results for the one that's disconnected. Which is obviously tested. It's probably on a quarterly basis anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. I need to work on the actual agreement for the Holland contract, for the transfer station Holland contract, and the cable agreement, which is taking forever still. That is about it.
Okay, so just for the record, we did receive the new assessment from the school district. They removed the capital items from their assessment letter. So this agrees with the budget passed at our town meeting and the budget passed at the Wilbraham town meeting, even though they agreed to the thing, they exceeded the assessment. So we're now both in compliance and everybody's going to get paid starting July 1st. Although I did have the question and it's still the same status on negotiations at this point that one is done and one is not. And I don't know where that stands.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Wow. I don't like it.